All right, guys, Anthony Johnson here today from 21 Studios. I'm here at CPAC 2021. I have with me none other than Kevin Sorbo. He's internationally known around the world as an incredible actor and director and author. You might know him best from your childhood as Hercules. Kevin, I appreciate your time today coming out to CPAC.
My pleasure. It's good to be here. I've been to a few of these before, and this has been a busy one.
Yeah. So my first question is, what's your basic stance and position on masculinity and men in America today? Are they doing well? What's your basic position on that?
You know, it's interesting. This is not coming from me, okay? I lived in Australia a couple years filming movies. I lived in New Zealand 7 years filming Hercules.
Wow.
From the males down in Australia and New Zealand, they would ask me all the time, they go, "Hey, Mike, why are you American men all turning a bunch of wusses?"
Yeah.
They're saying that to me, guys, and I'm not bringing up anything about what's going on in America because we're beating down men to be men.
And that was years ago, too, that we're asking this.
That was back in the 90s on Hercules.
Wow.
And I've shot, but down in Australia, I was there like 2005, 2010, 2015. I've shot movies down there.
Yeah.
And they're asking the same thing. And that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to, it's weird. Men are men, women are women. Why are we getting so crazy about this whole thing?
Yeah.
And why are we trying to tell men not to be men? This whole toxic masculinity thing they're going, It's insane. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's totally crazy. I mean, I don't get it. I wish I could understand why we're doing what we're doing in this country right now. And that's just not only that, with so many levels right now. A lot of it starts with our public education system and the brainwashing and indoctrination of our kids and telling them different things about who they are and who they should be or who they could be, and hate America, and it's just crazy what we're doing.
So you're concerned about the way young boys are being treated in school today, like almost like defective girls or something like that, in my opinion.
It's just weird. I mean, I don't get it why we're doing this. When I was in school, and probably you were in school as well, I'm older than you are, but teachers taught. If they taught math, they taught math. If biology, they taught biology. History. There was not, you should vote this way, you shouldn't vote this way, you shouldn't believe in God, you should believe in God. There was none of that stuff that was going on.
And boys were boys, right?
Boys were boys, girls were girls.
Yeah. Complicated. So next question, you mentioned toxic masculinity. So what's your basic position on feminism today? Has it gone too far, or is it still a healthy movement? I mean, they seem to be very aggressive, for example, against men and fathers today. Toxic masculinity, believe all women, things like that.
Well, you look at Black Lives Matter. I mean, they had their manifesto up for a long time. They took it down now. It's not there anymore. But they were, number one, want to take God away. They wanted to break up the nuclear family. That it shouldn't be a husband, shouldn't be a man and a woman raising a child. They compared women being pregnant to slavery.
Wow.
They admitted to being Marxist. They admitted to being communist. I mean, you look at that kind of stuff. And why did they take it down? After I guess so many people attacked them for that, but they took it down. We already know what their belief system is. So it's a weird world out here right now. I scratch my head all the time and go, I don't harbor the anger for people that have opposite points of view than I do. And you look at people from the left that sit there, they scream they say, "Oh, we're all for about peace and love, and look at you guys." We're not the Antifa. Are you kidding me? They're not against fascism. They're for fascism.
They just want unity.
It's progressive. You know what? It's called projection.
Yeah.
What everything the left blames the right on, their left is already guilty of.
Yeah.
But they wanted to deflect it to you and I. And it's crazy that we're letting this happen right now. Apathy is the biggest killer in America right now, especially for people on the right. Because their attitude is, oh, what can we do? They own the television, they own the movies, they own the media. There's nothing we can do.
Lose with dignity kind of attitude.
Wake up and stop being afraid. I got banned from Facebook. They took me down.
Wow.
Took me down 2 weeks ago. 550,000 followers gone because I posted that the CDC, this wasn't me, this was the Center for Disease Control, said that masks are useless. If you're going to get the virus, you can get the virus. It's 75% smaller than the flu virus, and if the flu virus can go through your mask, so can this virus.
Yep.
It's crazy.
On the same set of issues, in America today, we see higher than ever fatherlessness and the rise of single motherhood, especially in the Black community, but also in white community and Hispanics. Sure. Are you concerned then about single motherhood and the rise of fatherlessness in our country?
Well, it really started back in 1964 when LBJ said the Social Welfare Reform, the Welfare Reform Act, that said, if you're a single Black mother, don't worry, we'll help you out. But with the little, star underneath was, if you have a man in your life that lives in the house, we'll cut your payout. Yeah. So it became, here we are 3 generations later, where a lot of black women use it as a way to have money.
Yeah.
And it's just sad.
Yep.
They'll have 5 different kids from 5 different men by the time they're 26 years old to use it as a way to get government checks. And the black community had a much stronger unity of man and husband and wife than the white community back in the 50s and 60s.
Yep, I've heard this.
Now it's over 80% because of that Welfare Reform Act.
It's crazy.
We've taught the black community that it's okay to get a woman pregnant and walk away from it. And that's incredibly sad. And you see the offshoot of that with these kids becoming, they're looking for family, looking for male figures. So you got 14-year-old kids being groomed by 21-year-old gang leaders.
Yeah.
They're going, look at this guy, he's paying attention to me.
Well, then they're blowing up cop cars in the streets this past year.
They're looking for hope, looking for self-esteem, but all it comes, it's just anger perpetuating anger, and it's really sad.
Yeah. A separate question now on religion. Do you think Christianity and biblical masculinity are a good example for young American men today to learn how to be men? You're a Christian, I believe, right?
I'm a Christian. I think the Bible is a great place to go. We took that out of the schools back in 1964 too, and I think these are the seeds we're sowing from getting rid of God out of schools, getting rid of fathers out of families. I mean, it's just sad what's going on right now. And all I can say is, guys, we need to talk. We need to have civil discussions about what's important in life, what's important to have a good family relationship, what's good. Kids are looking for people to say no to them.
Yeah.
They're looking for reasons that people to say no to them. And no is a positive word, not a negative one.
They're looking for strength and masculinity in a father figure.
Yeah, they are. I have an after-school program in LA for 24 years now. We're the number 1 after-school program in the state of California.
Wow.
LA Unified has a 54% dropout rate. It's worse than Baltimore. They're over 60%. But in the 24, we're on our 24th year now, the average is a 54% dropout rate in LA Unified schools. We work with these kids 3 hours every day after school. It's physical education, it's school, what are you having troubles with, and then it's life. You're a 15-year-old, you're pregnant, let's talk about it, okay?
Yeah.
Because of what we've been doing, kids 3 hours a day every after school, we have a 98% graduation rate and a 67% higher GPA. What is my after-school program? A World Fit for Kids, worldfitforkids.org. What are we doing that the schools can't do? We make things better for the kids than the schools do.
And yet leaders and men like you are banned off Facebook for speaking the truth on related issues, It's insane.
They hate the truth. They hate people like me because I bring light into their darkness. They love the darkness. The lies love the darkness. They hate the truth.
Yep. Last question, have the feminists or SJWs or the lefties, have they come after you for Hercules being toxic masculinity? I mean, he seems very, what they would consider toxic masculinity.
They probably would because they're insane. Not yet, but I'm sure they will.
Okay.
I'm sure they will. It was a show that we touched on mythology. It's not religion, it's mythology. We had fun with it. We had a lot of humor. The fight scenes were always done with a lot of humor in them.
It's a very positive show too, right?
It was a positive show. We all said, look, I got letters I can prove from kids all around the world saying that my character made them realize they didn't have to fight to make change in the world, you know? Because on my show, it's fighting for Hercules was always the last thing.
Yeah.
And I said, that's the way I'm gonna have to get out of this or help people, save a town. That's what I'll do. But it was a TV show that always had a good moral message in it. I thank the writers at Universal for doing that.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate it big time. Thank you. See you guys next time at 21 Studios.
Peace out.
Cool. That was awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. It really is.